I think it's a huge challenge for us, other generations, to be open enough and assuming the fact that we might not be the ones who are finding all the answers, but what we need to do is just to create the necessary settings. My name is Farkas András. I am coming from the organization called PONT Group, which is a social innovation organization working in the field of participation, entrepreneurship and culture with a special focus on youth. So I think that having youth voices in all decisions which regard them is absolutely essential. So in my opinion, what we need to do is to go to the places where young people are. We shouldn't expect them to come to us, but we should go to them. Meaning that we should create those spaces which they feel safe to express their views and also to become part of action which is for the community. I believe that beyond skills and knowledge maybe, I think that most of us will need to work on the attitudes. And I don't mean the attitudes of young people, but I mean our own attitudes. Because I think that we need to be listening more carefully and more openly. We don't need to be judgmental. And I think that we should really send out the message towards young people that there are no wrong opinions. There is no bad idea. There is a huge power in questions, and they should raise these questions. And all of us should be able to find answers to these questions together with them. So we should enable them first to find out what they need, and then we should enable them to do something in finding the solutions for these needs. And if we are able to do this as an urban environment, as a city ecosystem, then I believe that young people will actually shape the future city, which is the one which they really vying for. And if this happens, they will stay in these cities, they will build these cities, and they will feel that they own these cities. I think that it is rather simple. I think that there are three slogans we are using in Com'ON Cluj, the participatory budgeting for youth, and this says, let's learn together, let's grow together, and let's do well together. And I think that it summarizes a little bit what we need to do together. Like, really, it's about the learning, but not just for young people, but for everybody. It is also learning from us about how they feel the city should look like, how we should behave like, what we could actually become. Growing together means that we get inspiration from a lot of places, a lot of people, a lot of environments, a lot of settings where we actually understand a situation. And then we do together means that we don't expect somebody else to solve problems, but we together start to solve problems. And when I say together, I mean from the mayor to the local councilman, to NGO leaders, to companies, to public institutions, to governments, why not? But not without young people. Again, I think that we shouldn't do things for young people, we should do things with young people, because if we look for a longer time span, maybe 20 or 30 years, today's young people will be the mayors, will be the local councilmen, will be the businessmen, and they will be the core generation which will make the city work. What we need to do is just to create the necessary settings, and here I mean three basic things. Physical spaces for young people, either individual, collective spaces where they feel safe enough and where they feel that their well-being is good enough. Human support, meaning mentorship, whatever which supports them in learning and then finding out what they want to do and then allowing them to have agency. And then funding, I also mean financial means, like really providing them the necessary financial and other types of material support through which they can test out things, they can find out what they want to do, and then they can obviously become whatever they are vying for. I would say three things. One I think I touched upon is like how decisions are made. Again, if there is a decision where it has an effect on young people should be part of that decision. And I don't just mean informed or consulted, but actually in a collaborative way, or maybe in a more radical way, like with participatory budgeting, where they actually are taking the decision. So the decision is delegated to them. But the second thing I would touch upon is being able to find new ways of how wealth and financial resources are redistributed in the community. I can mean about crowdfunding, about budget allocations within municipality, even within companies, and how we can together learn to prioritize and choose what is maybe more urgent, what is important, but maybe not so urgent. So I think that's a second very important power sharing thing. And overall, I would say that if we would be able to just take 2 steps back, in whichever position we are, but just to take 2 steps back and be open to whatever innovation, whatever new might come to us, through which all of us we could do our jobs, our roles in a better way in society, then I really believe that we could achieve more, even if in some cases it might be a little bit more time consuming and not being able to find and to provide actually some results or some impact as quickly as we would like to make it happen. Maybe I would disappoint the listener, but maybe I am not well prepared to be bold enough to imagine what this would be. So maybe my role would be to create, together with obviously with a lot of other people, that setting in which there is one young person or group of young people who will come up with the next revolutionary idea. We should be open for radical innovation. We should be open for this kind of disruptive thing. And again, I'm putting myself the question, how can we create those settings where young people are enabled to really think wildly, not to be restricted by, I don't know, parents, teachers, us as organizations in thinking wildly. And then when they find out the idea, they are thinking about critical issues of the world, of their own environment, even their micro communities. They are thinking it in a different way. So I think, again, our role should be to just enable them in finding the best solutions. And then if this happens, I think they will get that agency we were speaking about, and then they will take the best decisions for them, but also for their peers and then the overall community.